Aspie With Attitude episode 14. I've been wanting to do this for quite a little while now, that I've been holding my breath to explain why am I using a test pattern for every videos I do as an intro. Because as it happens though, I used to get fascinated with test patterns when I was in my early childhood. And I'd like to also first explain what was a test pattern originally used for. Alright, the object of a test pattern was often used to calibrate and align the downstream signal paths, and this is specifically engineered to enhance the signal and the picture quality to make sure the colour TV signals are functioning correctly. And for history, which takes it back, and what we're looking at here is called the PM5644. I'd like to explain the history that the test pattern was engineered by Philips TV Laboratory in Denmark, city called Copenhagen, just in the same country where Lego was invented. It was designed by a Danish engineer, Finn Handel, under the supervision of Chief Engineer Erik Helmer back in the late 60s. It was throughout the 60s that colour TV was starting to become popular, replacing black and white television. And as from 1970, this test pattern design was released publicly worldwide, as the TV stations used to close at the time. And it was commonly used worldwide by every TV stations around the world. And to get into my history, I do remember when I was actually 2 years old, back in 1982, when my parents took home a big box and they pulled out a new TV, which happened to be our very first colour TV. And the brand name of this TV was AWA, which stood for Australasian Wireless Association. And what does AWA stand for? Aspie With Attitude. Since my early childhood experience with colour television, my mum used to leave me on some children program like Sesame Street. Due to unfortunate circumstances that I used to be deaf, I didn't even get to hear the TV at all. However it is though, when Sesame Street used to finish, the station used to close since it's a normal Monday from Friday working day and everyone at school. No one would be sitting at home watching television, and that used to actually come on. And then I grew a fascination with that test pattern. I just still can now remember when it first appeared, when I first looked at it. I used to actually come up closer to the TV. Just like looking at it very closely, like what I'm doing. This is exactly what I used to do when I was about 2 or 3 years old, even up to 4 or 5. It's just going to be a bit of a simulation due to all the amount of colours that had been used and just so much detail. And since that most neurotypicals would have actually ignored it, I used to just love staring at it, and that gave me a sign that I was an Aspie and I had Asperger's syndrome and I was autistic. It was until when I was 3 years old that I went through a surgery to get my ears fixed, since I had blue ears that prevented me from hearing. And then after the surgery, something amazing happened. It was the first time that I actually heard this weird sound, and I must warn you, if you don't like the sine wave tone, please mute for at least 5 seconds. And that really proved that my ear operation was a complete success, and there was actually one really changed my life forever now. So I was able to I've been making music for each episodes. And what I've got there is just a sheet to explain what every detail really means. I'd like to start to explain the 6 colours across there. We have the yellow, the cyan, the green, the magenta, the red and the blue. The green, the red and the blue are the primary colours, and the secondary colours is the magenta, the cyan and the yellow. And where you find the tertiary colours, it's just around there and around here. You've got a brown, the blue, magenta, olive, yeah, just some sort of blue, and then another blue, and green, blue, pink and brown. I just don't want to go on this forever. What's been cut off the screen is the burst gate check, which is just like the starting position on the racetrack, just like a checkered flag or the checkered board. And those are the grayscales. People were still using a lot of black and white TV back in the days. If it's 0% on the grayscale, it's black. If it's 100% on the grayscale, it's actually white as snow. So it starts off from 0, that's actually 20%, 40, 60, 80 to 100. And outside the circle is 50% on the grayscale, and along there is 75%. And the idea is to understand this frequency. So 75% contrast, which is 250 kilohertz square wave. And along there you'll find all these barcode things. It's there to, it's called definition lines to understand the picture frequency. So under there is 0.8 megahertz, goes to 1.8 megahertz. There's 2.8 megahertz, and as it gets thinner and narrower, that's 3.8 megahertz, and then 4.8 megahertz. The idea of the circle is for linearity check, just to make sure that the picture quality is dead center and it's clear. And here, this is just the center of the screen, which is actually perfectly lined up. And this is the bottom part, which is a timing check. And there's so much detail. This is all basics. So you can actually research on the internet, find out yourself if you're interested in that test pattern as much as I am. Yeah, first time I saw that test pattern was on the AWA TV, Aspie With Attitude. I always like to keep my videos short, and I like to say peace.